What is up, everybody? This is Atticus the Death Miller. Before we get down to the topic at hand here, I want to give a shout out to the Canadian technical death metal band known as Derelict. Now, I discovered this band through a fan of mine, and all I gotta say is that I am very fucking impressed over these talented Canadians. If you're a fan of bands like Cryptopsy, Beneath the Massacre, Neuraxis, and Gorguts, then this is the band for you, so I highly recommend that you guys check them out on the description below. Now, down to the topic at hand here. Now, I know I talk about these issues a lot on my channel, as in social justice warriors, political correctness, and rad femmes, and many people will go around saying that I'm beating up a dead horse and that I'm a secret MRA of sorts. I get that a lot. But somehow, these things come up to my newsfeed, and I really need to bring my 2 cents over this whole fucking thing. Now, I gotta thank Melee Misfit and Mortified Productions for bringing their 2 cents on this whole topic, and now I'm gonna bring in my 2 cents and put in my perspectives onto this whole discussion. Now, there's this site called Bulimia.com or .net that they've put out an article that has to deal with how video games link to anorexia and bulimia. So, I read this, and I was automatically face-housing all over my neighborhood. So, let's get to it now, shall we? These days, there's rarely a media type that isn't criticized for its body image depictions, and video games are no exception. Video games have grown increasingly realistic over time. New immersive gaming styles are now somewhat true to life and even cinematic. The environments are richer and more detailed, and PC and console graphics processors are becoming more capable of handling the high-definition imagery. Some gaming studios boast their hyper-realistic lighting techniques, tuning natural cloud movements as of last features of their games. And with that kind of attention to detail, it makes us wonder, why can't they accurately portray the female body? For example, plus-size women are a rarity in video games, and when one does show up, she's typically unusual looking. More often, it seems video games are home to ultra-slim waistlines only. If video game creators are going to pride themselves on accurate digital representations, then it's time for them to get real about women. With realism in mind, we altered some of the most beloved female video game characters with Adobe Photoshop, shaping their bodies into images that represent the average American woman's measurements. Check out the results below. And oh god, this stuff is absolutely cringeworthy, and I will get to why I think this is cringeworthy in a minute. So, let's take it away. Oh my god. Seriously. What the fuck? I mean, you have to realize this, and I know I'm going to rustle a lot of jimmies. There can't be a plus size or whatever, like, morbidly obese video game character. Like, Lara Croft can't look that fat and all that jazz. I mean, let's face it, Lara Croft has known for being a gymnast, and she's also an archaeologist. She needs to be in that sort of waistline to avoid booby traps, to hike up mountains, to run all sorts of stuff and dangers, run away from wild beasts and all that shit. I mean, many people who play Tomb Raider know about this. And let's not forget about Tifa Lockhart. I mean, she needs to be in that sort of body type. I mean, look at fucking Ronda Rousey, for instance. Like, not too long ago, she fucking whooped a Brazilian woman's ass in under 34 seconds. You have to admit, that's pretty fucking amazing. Those women are like that for an obvious reason, because they want to move around and be athletic and kick ass and shit. I mean, I remember reading this very satirical article that I thought was serious over this one feminist, like this supposed feminazi claiming that, oh, they have a female character in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but it turns out she's not plus size. Bitch, you have to realize this, and I know this is satirical in a sense, but if there were people that were being serious onto this issue, you have to realize this, that there can't be a plus-size assassin because they need to be super fit, super toned to get around buildings and attack their Templar targets and shit. I gotta continue on to this article. As you might expect, the differences are stark. When seen through a more realistic lens, the stick-thin thighs and visible rib cages vanish from the woman, while men's exaggerated V-shaped upper bodies are cut down to a more reasonable size. And oh gosh, right when this article brings up men, I digged a little bit deeper onto the site, and I came across these images of Iron Man and Captain America. You just gotta love those double standards, don't you? I mean, Captain America needs to be extremely buff because he was in some sort of experiment to be the super soldier, okay? Super soldiers need to be extremely buff and fit. I mean, look at fucking Kratos, for instance. Do you see Kratos with a dad bod? No! He's fucking godlike. He's a demigod. So he needs to be really fucking built. I mean, he's the fucking god of war for crying out loud. What are the consequences of such interpretations? The perpetuation of unrealistic body imagery in the media can have decidedly negative repercussions. One could argue that social pressures to obtain perfection are reinforced even through the depiction of video game characters. Girl gamers, especially young ones, could develop a skewed image of how the female body should look. This might mark the beginning of obsessive thoughts about their own bodies and self-questioning as to why they don't align with their perceived ideal. When dangerous compulsive eating behaviors develop alongside of these negative obsessions, young women can quickly find themselves struggling with an eating disorder. Whether it's the drastic restrictions in food intakes seen as an anorexia, or the relentless purge behaviors of bulimia, all types of eating disorder are tragic endpoints potentially exacerbated by body image issues. Now, I have nothing against people suffering from bulimia. I have nothing against people suffering from anorexia. But this article is trying to state that video games causes people to be bulimic and anorexic. That is completely fucking false. I mean, these characters are the way that they are because they want to perceive, to get us out from reality. To play as a character that'll be jacked up and all this other shit. To save the day or any of that other shit. That's what video game characters are. And plus, those video game designers have the absolute freedom to express who they want. I mean, it's so funny that, over the past couple decades, people thought that, video games would cause people like Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold to shoot up schools. And it was a fucking right-wing conservative saying that shit. Now today, we're seeing the radical left going around saying that, oh, these games are sexist, misogynistic, they're fat-shaming, promoting, bulimia and, anorexia, which all this shit does not even add up. They're not even comparable. There have been plenty of studies that video games don't link up to violence. Video games don't link up to men wanting to go around and rape women and shit. That shit does not happen. I mean, the real concern here in America, face it, we are number one in the epidemic of obesity. Have you motherfuckers ever seen Super Size Me, for Christ's sake? I highly recommend that you check out that documentary right motherfucking now. What is the number one cause of death in America? Look at all, just do a quick search. In fact, I got one right now. What is the number one cause of death in America? Heart disease. Heart disease. Heart disease. You're more likely to die from heart disease than killing yourself. Diabetes, it's number 7, but still heart disease. And do you want to know why a lot of people in America die from heart disease? From poor dietary choices. Fast food joints, the lack of exercise, and of course this whole fucking body positivity and this fucking article right here are a lot of catalysts on why America has a problem with obesity. Let that add up for a second. Let that sink in. Oh, no. You won't listen to reason because I am some cis, white, thin, muscle, privileged shitlord that's just shoving his beliefs down other people's throats. When in fact, no. I am not going that. There is no correlation between bulimia and anorexia towards video games. Just as there's violence in video games does not link up to and correlate to school shootings. It is completely fucking false. I mean, hell, I'm just gonna say this right now. When I was a little kid playing God of War, I was bullied a lot, okay? And did I go around wanting to, like, rip bullies' heads off and just, like, shove swords down their mouths and just gouge their eyeballs out? No! No, I didn't. In fact, God of War got a lot of my frustrations out. So there you have it. So, yeah, this article fucking sucks. And not to mention that these people went on a fucking mass disliking over Melee Misfit over this. And not to mention, Melee Misfit is one of the few feminists that I really do consider friends. And, you know, there are some times that I agree with her, sometimes I disagree with her. But we're still friends. And it's so funny. They're going after their own kind with this shit. I mean, good God. Good fucking God. I'm just done with this. And before I end the video here, I'm just gonna... I have a little announcement to make. I am going to be down in Palm Coast for the next week, so I won't be making a lot of videos as of late. I have school and spending time with my family, so I might get some footage of my time at Palm Coast with all of my family and relatives, as I did with my Colorado 2014 video, so it'll be fun. So stay tuned for that. I'm Atticus, a death metaler. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Links are on the description below. Keep it metal. Have a wonderful day.